Welcome back, everybody. Monte here, and in case you missed class on Thursday, September 24th, this is what we did. Okay, let's recap. Last week, all about shapes, okay? We had a whole bunch of vocabulary, a bunch of shapes, and we actually talked about the symbols that we use to help verify that a shape is a particular shape. So like we have a square, okay? We had the 490-degree angles, we got a little symbol. We got the little hash marks to show that all the sides are congruent. Look at all the vocabulary in just 2 weeks of school. Geometry is stuffed, packed full of vocabulary. Okay, let's get started today. First of all, a little Charlie Brown action here, and we're talking about laughter, hugs, fun, love. Okay? Let's try to make it a great day. Got Snoopy here. Snoopy can join us down here. A little Charlie Brown action for the blockhead in all of us, right? We'll put him up here. All right. Now, the last time we were together, Monday, we started talking about more symbols. A point in point, a place, the origin, right? Wellesley and Ash, that is a place, it's a location. All right, now from there we talked about making a segment. Well, what if we made a segment that went from the origin to this square? Cool. Now, what if I have this square and I want to move it somewhere else, okay? How can I make this go here? Okay, well, there's a whole bunch more vocabulary today, all right? So we have movement, left, right, up, down, right? That's called transformation, okay? A translation, okay? So when I translate, left, right, up, down, vocab word, make sure you write it down. Now, to reflect, what if I take this shape and I reflect it down, okay? You can use the word flip. I flipped it, okay? We don't like that word. Proper vocabulary, to reflect. And then the last one, we do lots of it, is called a rotation, okay? So I'm going to put that kind of at an angle like this because we're going to rotate. Now, shapes, symbols. Now we're actually doing something with these shapes and all these symbols to demonstrate what we've done with the sole goal of protecting the integrity of the shape. When we're done, is it exactly the same shape? In the virtual world, we've got to find tools to verify, to help us realize, yes, we did, or no, it's not quite the same. All right? So let's recap. A rotation. If I was to create a segment and I took this square and I rotated it about the origin, rotate about the origin, what could I do to verify that I protected the integrity of the shape? Well, if it's on a graph, count. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. I win. Okay? What if I translate? Right? If I translated it, count how many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And then down, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Over 10, down 5. More symbols, more notation, but when I'm done, I could count the squares to verify that I did indeed protect the integrity of the shape. Okay? Same idea when I reflect. I flip it. I flip it. When we're done, we can verify that we protected the integrity of the shape by just counting squares. but not all of the world is described on a graph. So we're going to have some more tools, okay? All right. One of the tools, obviously, is the graph. So next week, we've got to refresh our memory about a graph. How do we find the point 0, 0? Do we remember that it's x comma y? All right. So next week, we've got to start talking about graph, equations of lines, segments, okay? So last week, shapes, right? We know what makes a square a square. We know that a triangle has lots of different shapes, and we're going to learn all about different types of triangles, okay? Notation, all these different symbols that we're learning about: congruent, 90 degrees, parallel. All right. Did we protect the shape? Now, in the virtual world, distance learning, how can we do that? Okay. Well, you could actually do little cutouts and put them on the screen to see. The beauty of the computer is the copy-paste button, the snippet tool. We could actually snip to see. But what if it's not drawn to scale? Could be difficult. So, trace, copy-paste. We're going to have to learn to measure, okay? We're going to have some math skills to verify. And the key math skill that we need to make sure we're good at is slope, okay? The slope of the line. When I come over to this graph, straight up and down has a particular slope. A flat line, no slope. But what's going to make it difficult in math, or just like some of these giant buildings you see, the Pyramid Building in San Francisco, the Transamerica Building, right? The top of it is a pyramid. What happens if I take this shape and I rotate it? If I rotate it 45 degrees, can I still mathematically prove that this shape is the same as that shape? So that's where we're headed, all right? So let's just do one real quick. What makes a square a square? Okay, 4 sides. Well, that could be a line. A line. A line. And a line. The end result of those 4 lines is a square. Okay, but we would have to prove that. We would have to actually show that these lines are perpendicular. Okay? We would have to show that the slope of these lines, this slope, 0, creates a perpendicular to this line, forms that right angle. And we do that with slope, okay? Then the following week, we've got to be able to find that distance, all right? We've got to be able to find this distance. How long is that line? Well, if it's on a graph, 1, 2, 3. If it's on a map, we grab a ruler, right? Okay, so how long is it? How long is it? Okay, so we've got rulers, maps, right? Scale factor. We have all sorts of tools, but we're going to have some math to go with that. And that math is called the distance formula. Okay? All right. So, if you missed class today, that's okay. We talked about rotation, reflection, translate, all with the ultimate goal that we protect the shape. The rest of today's class was about symbols and I wanted you to continue on Mathia so that we could describe a point, segment, ray, and a line, and a little bit about angles. Just a little bit about angles, all right? So we have this angle formed right here, okay? The point A, B, C. We have an angle, okay? How do we describe that angle? Angle A, B, C, all right? Thanks for coming to class today. Don't forget that every Friday we have a little quiz. A little bit about shapes, a little bit about notation, and a little bit about Mathia. And that'll finish week 2. See you in class.